Good morning. I'm Tom Gretsch. I'm calling to order the Town of Hempstead IDA Board Meeting for the 18th day of March, 2025. Can we please stand for the pledge? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please have a seat. Welcome all. This meeting is being live streamed. So I want to just see if there's any, we have a quorum. Any public comment from the folks out there yet? No? Sir? Thank you. Village business. I see from our agenda there is no, in fact, business for the Village of Freeport. The Village of Hempstead. Discussion regarding possible termination of benefits for Harris Beach 50 Clinton, formerly Alphamore LLC, assigned to court-appointed receiver Keith Corbett, Harris Beach Mertha, PLLC, 50 Clinton Street, Hempstead, for non-compliance. Please approach and identify yourself, please, sir. Thank you. No, up there, up at the microphone there. Oh, is that right?
Thank you. Hillary Becker, I'm the managing agent for 50 Clinton. Keith Corporate Counselors should be in any minute now.
Okay, well, thanks for
Just
acknowledging.
parking his car.
Thank you. We'll acknowledge that, and we'll pass, we'll return to the agenda and call him up when the time comes. Thank you, Mr. Becker. New business. Consideration of an inducement resolution for SDL Belmore LLC, 1373 Belmore Road, North Belmore.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Daniel Baker from Greenberg Traurig, 900 Stewart Avenue, Garden City, New York. Nice to see everybody.
Good morning.
I also have somebody who is finding his way in, but after speaking to Mr. Perola, I think I will begin, and if we have any questions for him, maybe we can hold for that. But I'll begin with my presentation. I am appearing this morning on behalf of SDL Belmore LLC, which is the contract vendee for the premises at 1373 Belmore Road in Belmore. The property is currently a now vacant temple, Temple Bethel, that had been there for years and years and years. My client, Scott Layton, who is en route, and if we need him, he can answer any questions when he does get here, but he's been in contract on this property. I think it goes back to 2019. So just to give you a little bit of history, I think it's worthwhile. This property has gone through the application process for a change of zone with the town board, which was ultimately approved in November of 2022. Because of COVID, there were some significant delays in getting to that point. After that, there was one simple variance, we thought, to get a variance from the Board of Appeals for a number of stories, not height. After a lot of back and forth over a period of time that consisted of years through the change of zone process and the Board of Appeals process, the variance was eliminated. They changed the buildings around to meet some concerns of the community, and ultimately landed on a project that is now in site plan review. We expect or hope that site plan approval will be granted, if not in April, then certainly by the May meeting, so that we can, assuming things go well today here, come back in May for a final authorization. The proposal is to take the existing temple, demolish the building, and build two new buildings that will house 28 units of two-bedroom apartments. Again, as part of the process and speaking to the community over this period of time, the project is now a 55 and over senior project, which is something that as we learned through the process, is in high demand in this community. Like so many places, Belmore has people who are aging in their homes that they've lived in for years and years. They want to stay in the community to be with their children, their grandchildren, and these types of facilities are really something that's needed and will be good. Again, without soliciting this, we found through the process people coming out in support, and for me as a land use attorney, you always see the opposition come, and we had a little bit of that, and hopefully we addressed most, if not all, their concerns. But to see people come out that you don't really go looking for, who come to the hearing, speak, and say, hey, I've lived my whole life here, I'm retiring or retired, I want to sell my house, and I don't want to have to take that and buy something else and spend what in essence is my nest egg. Instead, I can find a nice place, rent, and stay in the same community with my children and grandchildren. So this is what I believe is a really good project. It's taken a long time to get here. We've been speaking to Fred Meady and staff for, I think, about 5 years on this, but we're finally here. So as you can imagine, like any project these days, particularly housing projects, to get them built is almost impossible to do without the benefits that the IDA can confer.
Okay.
Obtaining financing and all the good stuff. So as a result, we are seeking the typical benefits of sales tax exemption, mortgage recording tax exemption, and a pilot that we have discussed with staff, my client is comfortable with. So based on everything that we have presented in our application and is in the packets that you've received, we would ask that the board induce us today. If there are any questions, I'm happy to answer.
Thank you. I have a photo of the property on my phone here. It's right smack in the middle of a residential area, so the character seems to be very fitting.
Yeah, again, there was, I believe, very serious thought put into the architecture of the buildings to make them fit within the character of the community. One thing that maybe is good to note is originally this was going to be one building that was going to have more mass looking at it from the road. One of the big things that was tweaked to get us to where we are today was to basically take that big building, make it into two smaller ones that aren't quite as tall, and just have a less of a big presence from the road. And that seemed to work with
Excellent.
not only the town but the community.
Excellent. We had a question?
Yes, Mr. Baker. Just wanted to know, with respect to the temple, so it's closed? then-
Yeah, so the temple has already closed. It's merged with another one.
That was my
in
next
East
question.
Meadow, and look, I have had several projects like this, another one in Oceanside, and, it's sad, unfortunately, that
Yeah.
the state of temples these days is that they are downsizing in their membership, and as a result, they merge with other ones, and the final result is that they have properties like this that they have to do something with, and you have to find some use that's beneficial. And if it's not something like the proposal here, it's either going to be another religious use, which aren't that easy to find, or, what else is it going to be? Some kind of medical use maybe, or something like that. But the reality is that this housing is the well-needed use for an area like this.
No, I agree. I just wanted to know if the
Yeah.
people who attended the temple, they have another place that they're worshiping
They
in
do.
now, so
They've
it's no
already
problem.
merged. In fact, it's been almost 3 years since.
Oh, okay, good.
Excellent.
Yeah. Yeah. In
Excellent.
fact, the 55 and over was a concession that occurred during the change of zone hearing process, when it was, made clear that there is an elementary school around the corner, and there was concern over that, and, how impactful it might be. Mr. Layton very quickly made a decision that, you know what, I can make this work at 55 and over, and seemingly, it's probably a better use and more needed in the area than just a straight market.
Excellent. Any questions from the board? Other questions? Okay, with that, staff, any other further comment? You guys are good?
No, we favor the project, but obviously.
Excellent. So I'd like to get a motion for the consideration of inducement resolution for SDL Belmore LLC, 1373 Belmore Road, North Belmore. I get a motion?
So moved.
And a second?
I'll second.
Great, those in favor?
Aye. Aye.
Anybody abstained? Anybody opposed? Excellent, motion carries. Thanks very much.
Thank you all.
And good luck.
Very much.
Next up is a consideration of a tenant consent for Valley Stream Green Acres, 2034 Green Acres Mall for Portobello, 259 Fordham LLC.
This creates 5 full-time jobs. A little less than 3,000 square feet. I trust it's a restaurant,
Yes.
and staff has no problems with it.
This calls for a motion, correct?
Yes.
Okay, any comments or questions from the board? Excellent. Can I get a motion for the consideration of tenant consent for Portobello, 259 Fordham LLC? Motion? Make a motion? May I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries.
I think Portobello may be a clothing store, I think. Is it a restaurant? I think Portobello, isn't that a suit store? It's a suit store.
Clothing.
Yeah, I think they sell clothes, yeah,
You can't eat your clothes, well,
yeah,
It's Italian clothes.
right.
sounded like a restaurant.
You're thinking about a steak?
Yeah.
Right, no, there's
Pasta
soup.
fazola.
All right. Right.
Next up is a consideration of a tenant consent, again for Valley Stream Green Acres 2034, Green Acres Mall for Asma's Threading Place, Inc.
Oh, it's eyebrows.
Excellent. Okay.
Oh, and she put it down for, and it's small, it's 150 square feet. A kiosk, obviously, 3 full-timers, and we have no our staff recommends passage.
Excellent. Any comments on the board?
These are very common in malls like this.
Yeah,
That's good.
it's good. Anybody else? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries for
Mr.
Asma's.
Chairman, would you like to do Hempstead, so that the Hempstead folks aren't held here?
Sure, that'd be
Go back
fine.
up to
Yes,
table.
yes, yes. Let's go back to discussion regarding possible termination of benefits for Harris Beach 50 Clinton, formerly Alphamore, assigned to court-appointed receiver Keith Corbett, Harris Beach Mirtha, 50 Clinton Street, Hempstead, for noncompliance.
The agency did receive all of the requested information, minus one item, which was an update on the fire marshal situation. And I believe Mr. Corbett is here and would like to speak about that.
Yes.
Just one question, just one comment. Arlen, is
Yes.
that fire marshal's report a showstopper or no? Thank you. Mr. Corbett, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Good morning to the board. First and foremost, I want to thank the IDA staff for working with us. As you know, their patience and understanding was appreciated because this is not your typical situation, as we've discussed. It's not Harris Beach Merthyr, it's Keith Corbett as an attorney. Obviously, I'm a member of Harris Beach, but I was appointed the receiver for the property, which is 50 Clinton for some of the members who weren't here at the last meeting, right here in the middle of Hempstead. It's a building that's been dilapidated, has not had repairs done for over 20 years. It's in foreclosure. So with the help of this board, we were able to work out a process by which everyone wins. Your arrears to the tune of almost $800,000 would get paid by the bank who's foreclosing on it. Timely payments will be made going forward. The stakeholders in the community, both Hempstead, the fire marshal office, the county, the village, we will work with all their building departments, fire marshals, if people want to see this building succeed, because it's the best thing for the community. And obviously, knowing that I'm a receivership, some of the compliance package we were given isn't really designed. It's designed for companies and LLCs and corporations. So I appreciate the patience, because we had to get some of my public finance folks at my firm involved, with your excellent attorneys at Nixon Peabody, Mr. O'Brien, and obviously John Ryan, to figure out the way that you can be in compliance and we're not misstating facts, knowing that we're a receivership. As you know, you had previously duly authorized the transfer, the assignment of that pilot from the foreclosing entity that is no longer around to the receivership, and since then, we have paid the arrears on a deal that many thought I don't think you would have recouped on, and we will continue to do so. As far as it relates to, and as his name said, the full compliance package is in. You've received all the necessary documentation. and I appreciate the patience again. As far as the fire marshal, I'm going to call up our managing agent who spoke just a little earlier, Mr. Hillary Becker. I will let you know that we've been in contact with the fire marshal from day one. We've had multiple meetings with them, we've had plans with them, just as we've done with the Nassau County, just as we've done with the village of Hempstead. And the reason is, there are violations all over this building. If we didn't get involved and work with all those departments and all what we call stakeholders, this building would have been shut down. And I think, Dr. Millett, I think you could see a lot of the work that's been put into the building over time, and there's still work to be done. We're trying to put every cent we have into it. So it's really been a work in progress that we're proud of, to make sure that there's a jewel that sits right there at the gateway to Hempstead. But I did want to let our managing agent, Mr. Becker, speak to the work we've done with the fire marshal and the relationship we've been able to build.
Thank you. With respect to the fire marshal, any issue that has come up, we've addressed it immediately. There are no violations on the property right now as we speak, although any violation that existed previously has been resolved. The fire marshal has been in and out of the building constantly for their usual typical inspections, and we've passed all of the inspections. So any issue that was related to anything with respect to violations has been resolved. And with respect to the sprinkler system, we have submitted plans. We invested $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 on sprinkler plans. The seventh floor, just the history of this quickly was the prior owner redeveloped the seventh floor and made it into instant office space or WeGo type of space. And they put sprinklers in there, and the fire marshal had required them to put sprinklers in the rest of the building, which they failed to do, so they never got approval or CO for the seventh floor. So we're in the process of putting in, trying to work with the fire marshal to eventually have sprinklers put in throughout the building. That's a work in progress right now as we speak.
Okay, thank you. I wanted to see if the village officials from Hempstead wanted to make any comment, support, question, anything at all. Please step up. This is an important project that's been around for so long. I thought it would be important that if you had to speak or wanted to speak, we would encourage that. Thank you.
Yes, good morning, council and council. I'd like a little bit, Joylette Williams, 99 Mason Street, Hempstead. I would like a little bit more information about the sprinkler system. I'm deeply concerned that, with respect to your report, you're stating that the sprinkler system is in process, and am I to understand that this is the only issue that is standing between the fire marshal passing the inspection of the entire building? Okay.
Essentially, as you know, the building was grandfathered in.
Right.
It's a six-story building, didn't need sprinklers.
Okay.
When the previous owner for a lot of money and built out a seventh floor, was to extend that use, the whole building has to come into compliance.
Right.
When we first came in, the seventh floor was built out. They did add a sprinkler only for the seventh floor, but they never finished the work for the ducts and turned it on, obviously. We have immediately
finally, just as of last month, paid off all the back arrears, and are just paying the monthly. Took us almost 2 years to pay off the arrears we had to get for water. Those arrears that were paid back, all because of these electric heaters they put in. As you can imagine, the heat for the 2 zones is extremely expensive. So as soon as we get the HVAC fixed, the building will go down, and we should have funding in 6 to 8 months to be able to do the sprinkler system. And then the building will be completely sprinkled, and more importantly, you can lease out and rent out the 7th floor, which is valuable to whoever either purchases the property or keeps the asset even more preferable than what it is sitting right now.
I do have a similar question. I think you mentioned that there was about $50,000 or $70,000 that was being put into the sprinkler system now. Am I understanding you correctly?
It was about just shy of $87,000 was minor repairs, things that had to be done.
Those just for plans.
Correct.
We submitted plans to the fire marshal, and it was $89,000.
Okay, so the plans are approximately $87,000, but to actually implement the system is $600,000? I'm still not understanding the consistency.
We had plans that were about $68,000 in plans. There
Okay.
were minor repairs. There was a crack along the glass where the fire extinguishers are. There were other things where lights were not as bright as they're supposed to be. All those types of things they just didn't do normal inspections. Was the rest of that money for 68, about $20,000 in minor things. So the system that's in place and the actual fire code is being complied with the rest of the building. In order to take, there's no sprinkler system from 0 through 6 at all. There's no ducts, there's no sprinklers, there's no pipes, nothing. In order to outfit the entire building, the rest of the building, and hook that into the 7th floor, which is the only space that's not being occupied, that would have a sprinkler, would be just north of 600. The lowest quote we had was just over $600,000. Because you're sprinkling an entire existing building, which is a lot more expensive than obviously putting sprinklers in the building.
And are you expecting that you'll have the $600,000 and you said 6 to 8 months?
We have been saving every penny we have when I put everything into the building. We are working with the bank to hopefully have a plan to be able to do that. Yes, our goal is to try to get that done, and then we can work with the fire marshal. Again, do we have the funding right now to do something? No. We're living off our rent and paying off our bills. We've been able to be successful with some of the vendors we've had, who've been very generous with us, and waiting to be paid. We have many vendors who know that I can pay them a month, but I gotta get more rent to pay them. And they've been really generous to work with us 3 or 4 months. We've been putting money aside, and we're hoping the bank, as a conversation with the bank, but the bank can fund a large part of that as well.
Okay, I'm still trying to get clarification. So are you expecting to be able to produce the $600,000
Yes, the answer is yes.
in 6 to 8 months and then begin the work? Or are you expecting that the work on the sprinkler system will begin when you have, for lack of a better term, a down payment toward the $6,000 to begin the
It
work?
is our goal, what we expect to do is to start work on putting the sprinkler system in the entire building within the next 6 to 8 months.
Okay. Will you be able to submit a plan to the board and to council of like a financial plan for how you can implement this? Because for obvious reasons, this project and the back and forth on it has been going on for quite some time. And I would like to see a concrete plan before we vote on whether or not it's practical to continue to expect the money when we have seen very little progress. And to be fair, we have seen progress. I'm acknowledging that.
Well,
But if the 6 to 8 months is actually going to turn into 3 to 4 years, so
Yeah.
to speak, then
Mr. Corbett,
I am
yeah,
deeply
before you
concerned about
respond,
this issue.
I appreciate your comments. I will say that there's been a ton of work, that's an official term, a ton of work done at that building over there. And I think from the voluminous report and all the expenses, Mr. Becker, would you mind approaching and addressing, like, I think there is a plan for this last piece of the puzzle. Would you mind addressing that?
See, a concrete.
I hear you, I understand, and I feel the same way, but I think it's already been put forth.
Yeah, as Mr. Corbett said, that the plans for the sprinkler system for floors 1 through 6 have been submitted with the fire marshal. The fire marshal's in the process of reviewing the plans, so we're waiting to hear back from the fire marshal with any type of comments that they have. And then, as Mr. Corbett mentioned, we're in the process of working with the bank to try to get the funding to complete the system if we don't have that money through cash flow.
Okay. So I want to pose a question to staff. From the previous submission of all those plans, are we collectively comfortable with what the plan is, or no?
We haven't seen
Okay. And Mr. Beck? I was going to say, do we have any expertise in? We don't want to stop forward progress. There's been a ton of work done here. It's been how many years? If you're comfortable with that, what our attorney just said, if you're comfortable with that, we'll ask counsel and Mr. Becker to put something forth. Hopefully by our next meeting, 30 days, is that appropriate? Get it in our hands? You comfortable? Everybody's on the same page? Excellent. So, always want to defer to staff first before the board makes a decision. Staff, you comfortable with all that? Yes? Yes. Excellent. So do I need to make a motion to accept?
Let me just say.
Sorry, one more
Yeah,
question.
Mr. Beck, I just want to say, yes, there are a lot of work vehicles there. I see the effort, and work is being done. I just want to clarify one thing with the report that was given. In your report, I believe it came, that very thick report, you indicated in there that the town of Hempstead DOL, third floor, that's state. They're on the third floor, not the fourth. Town of Hempstead's the fourth floor, and that's Hempstead Works.
Okay.
So the identification is wrong.
Gotcha.
So that's not Town of Hempstead on the third floor. That's Department of Labor, the
Gotcha.
third floor.
Understood.
Yeah, just so you'll know.
Thank you.
Right.
Thanks for that clarification. I was just going to say, because it says discussion, there's no motion. Any other comments from the board?
Yeah.
Just to clarify, I thought it was on the termination agenda, so don't we need a motion whether or not to move forward with that? No, it was on for discussion. Just for discussion? Okay.
I'm just following the guidelines that the staff prepared. So,
And I'll just say that, yes, there is a lot of work that needs to be done, and I know you're doing it little by little. And it's 7 floors, it's quite a bit, and it's quite an undertaking. And, we do see some work being done, and even on our floor, work has been done, and I want to thank you for that.
Thank you. Yeah, it has been a major undertaking in terms of collecting back rents and then utilizing those back rents to invest it right back into the building. And that's essentially what we've been doing. Probably close to $1 million has been invested right back into the building.
all right, so it's clear, there is no motion required. Just one second, just to make sure. There'll be some kind of report within 30 days before our next meeting.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Just one comment, Mr. Chairman. All I want to say is I do appreciate all the work that's going on. We understand the magnitude of this project and the time it's going to take. I just want to remind you that from our point of view, compliance is compliance. It is what it is, despite the situation that the building is in. And requests from our staff, from the IDA staff, should be treated as requests from the board. Okay? Thanks.
Excellent. All right, so no vote required. Thank you all for your presentation, and thank you, Town of Hempstead, Village of Hempstead trustees. Thank you and good luck.
Nice job, Justin.
Yep, thank you. All right, next up is another consideration of a tenant request for Valley Stream Green Acres 2034 Green Acres Mall, GCI Restaurant Group doing business as China Experience.
So I know this is a Chinese restaurant.
You sure, Fred?
Oh, it's, you know it's not.
It's not Chinese, it's not Chinese
restaurant.
clothing, or?
It's just under 900 square feet, 6 full-time employees.
Excellent. Any other comments from the board? Okay, can I get a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Thank you. Can I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor? Aye. Those opposed? Michael, could you do me a favor and check out what's going on with this microphone thing?
That
Only-
mic over
It's
there.
Fred's.
Thank you.
Oh, it's
no,
Fred? Oh, it's
Fred's
Fred's.
It's always Fred's microphone.
So let's just finish that motion. So those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries. China Experience. Next up, consideration of tenant consent for Valley Stream Green Acres again, 2034 Green Acres Mall, Shake Shack, New York, LLC.
I can personally attest to Shake Shack.
No, it's a fitness,
All right.
It's over 3,000 square feet and 60 full-time employees, which is a nice addition to the mall.
Any other comments from staff? You're in support?
Yes.
Excellent. Thank you. Comments on the board? Excellent. Can I get a motion?
So move.
A second? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Shake Shack. Consideration of a tenant request, sorry? No, please. Excellent. Please, Mr. Baker, please.
Thank you. Again, good morning. Because there are a number of tenant consents on, and I think regularly, almost every meeting, there's something on, and since I'm here, I thought it might be good just to give you a quick update, because, you know, this is one of the projects that is one I look back to when we started in 2014-15 to present is exactly what is supposed to happen with IDA assistance and benefits. 2 weeks ago, we were before the Board of Appeals for approvals for variances related to a redevelopment property that's going on. Sears is being demolished, the parking lot, garage next to it is being demolished. The mall is being turned from an inward-facing to outward-facing presence, much like many of the malls, Roosevelt Field and Walt Whitman and so many of the others you see, to become more modern. A new ShopRite pad is being put in there, so lots of good things are happening. The investment by the owner of the property, Mesa Ridge, and tenants will probably range somewhere from $130 to $180 million. So none of this could have happened without the initial support from the staff and board here. This is a property that's gone through a lot of transformation in the time that it's been partnering with the IDA. And again, I think it's one of those feel-good ones. So since I was here, and you do have some good consents on Shake Shack and all those good things, I did want to let you know that everything that the board does to make this property work is actually working.
Thank you for your comments. I also mentioned personally and professionally that we just, I'm not going to say celebrated, but acknowledged the 5th anniversary of COVID. The world is very topsy-turvy. Even before that, when it comes to retail, it's even under more duress. So I think your comments are spot on. Thank you. I'll take that as a compliment, I think.
Yes, absolutely. That was how it was intended.
I got that sense too, but thank you, because these jobs are very hard to get and fill up places, especially in large, formerly, the word mall is almost a misnomer going forward because of all the changes in the landscape, but thank you for that. I appreciate it very much.
You got it. Thank you. Good to see everybody.
Thank you. Consideration of tenant consent for Equity One Northeast Regency Centers Trader Joe's, 900 Old Country Road, Westbury.
Obviously, an upscale supermarket, very fun food, so the staff recommends it.
Excellent.
Yeah, they're there, it's a renewal of lease, just under 5,000 square feet, 25 full-time employees.
Excellent. Comments on the board? Excellent. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
A second? Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Trader Joe's. Consideration for a tenant consent for Equity One Northeast Regency Center's Golden Hour Nails, same location, 900 Old Country Road. Mr. Perola, any comment about that? Nails?
Staff has no opposition to this.
It doesn't appear to be in the packet.
How many square feet is this nail thing, this nail salon? Okay, thank you. Any other comments on the board about this? Dear staff team, beg your pardon, should we skip it or can we make a motion?
I would make a motion, it seems to be a good tendency.
Okay, any comments on this board? Okay, can I get a motion?
So moved.
Sorry, a second?
A second.
Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Discussion regarding a surrender of IDA private bond allocation to the Nassau County Local Economic Assistance Corporation to assist in financing for the Gardens at Buffalo LLC, 80 Albany Avenue, Freeport.
I'll handle this if it's okay. We had received a request, if you recall this project, we are allocated $17 million and change from the state for bond cap allocation. We have no current projects that we could apply that to. The Nassau County Economic Assistance Corporation is involved in a project with this entity from, that's doing the Gardens at Buffalo, which you recall is a project of ours. It's the old Moxie Rigby project. It's got all the support from the village and the mayor, et cetera. To put together a package for them to finance, we have agreed to give our bond allocation to them so they can combine theirs with ours, and I think money from the state as well, to do a big financing. The applicant has agreed, and they've been billed by the agency for a commensurate fee as if it were an IDA project. So all around, it's a housing project which is consistent with the state's desire to develop housing in areas like this. So I think all in all, it was a good thing to do.
So that $17 million was on our books up until this project came about?
Allocated by the state. It's our bond cap, right?
Thank you. And what is the Town of Hempstead IDA remuneration for this, for surrendering this? We get something as a,
I think it's $107,000.
that's the fee that will be paid to us for the
Correct.
courtesy of surrendering.
Correct.
Staff is in agreement?
Yes, we are.
Found money, so to speak?
Well earned.
Yeah.
I
Yes.
just say, in the past, it often's the case in the years I've been doing it, that we never use our bond cap allocation. Yeah, it's one of our projects as well,
Excellent.
ongoing.
So it's marked as discussion. When the paperwork is provided, we'll make a vote.
It's not a decision we or the council can make, it's a state decision, so state empire development will contact us, let us know if that's approved. I hear that that has been discussed with Empire State Development by various people.
Okay.
And that they were positive, there was a positive outlook on this being okay to surrender. Again, it's not our money, so we don't get to decide, but
Right.
we should hear back, I don't know, within the next couple of weeks for sure.
Great. And Mr. Ryan, we'll get that papered up so we know what we're going to get.
It's already been done.
Great, excellent.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Council, just for the record, from a legal and compliance standpoint, we're within our authority to make that surrender. We're okay to do that, correct?
Absolutely,
Okay,
yes.
thank you. It's great for EAC.
Love when a
It's great
plan
for the
comes
project.
together. Any other staff comments? Excellent, good. Board, any comments at all whatsoever before we make a motion? Or we don't have to? Sorry, never mind. No, just a discussion. Rest of the board, anybody have any comments besides Mr. Bedford? All right, excellent, great. Thank you, Mr. Ryan, for your diligence in that. New business, CEO report.
You'll just note that, before the enacted projects are two new ones, which are not so new, the SBO Domo, which would be former temple that was just discussed, and Main Street Hempstead Apartments, which is, I would say, taking a great deal of time on staff. It's gone through a number of revisions, as you may know, and it's now up to 246 proposed, units of apartments, and, let's chart it along. Other than that, no major change.
Excellent. Client compliance review 2024 and synopsis of 2024 annual compliance data.
The compliance review is in your packet, I dropped off a new one, just so you could see progress from last, week when it was mailed to you. All projects that are in full compliance, with the exception of one project, we're just waiting for a compliance fee, and, they was
Excellent.
Just so the board is aware, this report, as the only other person in the office that hasn't done this report takes a huge amount of time, a huge amount of effort, and is probably one of the most frustrating things to have to work on. But Arlen really did very well this year. There's no tears. I'm sorry. I have to give you credit for that.
Excellent. Thank you. Thank you. From the board, thank you so much. The appointment of the compliance contracting officer?
And that is why she gets that.
Sorry. Excellent.
Compliance is a very important aspect of this agency's function, and without it, we could lose our authority to act. So this reporting is very important. It's done in a very good way, so thank you all for getting done.
Excellent, and thanks for your hard work across the board for that. I'm going to ask council a question. There's 10 consideration and adoptions listed there. We've all been sent those things. Is it possible to make one motion, or must we go through all 10? Your call as our legal advisor.
I believe we generally refer to that as a consent agenda.
That was my request. That's, in legal terms, that's kosher? Thank you. I just wanted to spare the public and the recording time. Thank you. All right, so, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to read them all off, but just from the top level, and then we'll make a motion or decide to drill down. So I'm going to request a consideration and adoption of the 2024 annual financial report, the 2024 audited financial statements, the mission statement and measurement report, the property disposition policy, the operations and accomplishments for 2024, procurement and purchasing guidelines, board self-evaluation policy and procedures, code of ethics, investment policy and guidelines, assessment of effectiveness of internal controls. Question?
All of these policies and appointments are required by this compliance and the requirements that they be also uploaded into the CARE system for that. So that will take place with the first one.
Excellent. Excellent, thank you. Any board discussion on those 10 items?
I don't think you mentioned the compliance officer. Are you putting that in?
No, that's just an appointment information, correct? I just wanted to, thank you so much for your heads up there, thank you. All right, so,
The annual audited
okay,
financial.
so let's, the appointment of the compliance contracting officer, can I get the discussion at all on the board side? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
May I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Excellent, and you're saying... I should-
Congratulations.
Yes, congratulations, thanks for stepping forward. And thank you. And should I do a separate one just for the financial report, or no?
No.
Okay, so we're back to the initial motion, I'm sorry, not the motion, the initial consideration and adoption for those 10 items. Any board discussion? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Can I get a second?
I'll second.
Thank you so much. Anybody, those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Motion carries for those 10 different,
Does anybody have any questions about the audited financials?
saw them, got them. I also wanted to thank Arlen
Reviewed
for,
them.
I felt really old reading this. I felt somewhat lesser old reading this, so seriously, thank you.
Yeah, so normally what happens is after we have our audit by Sheehan and Company, we have the town scan the documents, and then I print out copies that you have there, and I mail them to you, so that you have them a few days before the 30th.
Yes,
But because we were waiting for Harris Beach, not Harris Beach, sorry, we were waiting for people to send in the information. I did do that, I had a report all ready to go, and then I had to redo the report because you had to add that information in. So that's why we got it a little bit late. But I like to give it to you ahead of time, because the PDF is hard to read, I understand. This is a little bit easier, although you still need one of those big rulers.
yes. Well, your work does not go unnoticed. I'll make a comment about that. Again, thank you for that. I know, my
Yeah.
goodness. are- are-
Chairman, I just wanted to let you know, though, that this, the format of this is very important, because this is one of the uses by Corolla. Very, very famous picture that was used there.
Unfortunately, I have it upside down. No one caught it.
No one noticed.
Yes, I was gonna say, nobody even
Yeah.
saw it upside down.
Mr. Chairman, I would just like to mention,
Order, please.
in response to your comments below, Arlen was nice enough to provide this to us in electronic format. And I would like to encourage everybody to use that electronic format. You can search, you can Zoom if you're feeling older, Mr. Chairman. There's so many options. You don't have to go off
Excellent.
of the hard paper, and you save trees. It's wonderful.
I am gonna request on an informal basis, but. Yes. I am gonna request if I can get this electronically. You were sending it as a PDF or as a Excel?
Well, our system is not Excel.
Okay.
It's a program that we work with our town's IT department on, so it's unique to originally created, it's unique to our agency.
Can it export to can it export to Excel?
We tried to do that, it doesn't,
Okay. We can talk offline about that. I just wanted to,
but, so that's why we end up, printing 4 pieces, taping and,
yeah, I'll just make a comment that it's 2025, not towards you, but. Yep, thank you.
I'm going to continue to carry this water and try
The horse has
to
been
convert
beaten.
you all, but
All right, let's go to, old business. Summary of board member self-evaluations table from February. Who wants to tackle that one? Arlen, is that your, spotlight again?
that's just for your information, it's the summary of all of your items, all of your comments, regarding your own board performance.
Thank you. Any comments on the board? Okay, the reading and approval of minutes of previous meetings, consideration and adoption of the minutes of February 25, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we waive the reading of the previous minutes and adopt the minutes February 25th, 2025.
hard second.
Yes, those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Report of the treasurer. I'm going to read these two different line items. Consideration of a fund balance transfer for post-retirement health insurance and financial statements and expenditure list, Feb 19, 2025 to March 11, 2025.
So the fund balance transfer was an item discussed in the, last meeting, with regard to the actuary report giving us a estimate of what they anticipate to be the post-retirement health benefits for the existing staff. And the account is currently short at approximately $400,000. So we're gonna transfer $400,000 from the fund balance into post-retirement health insurance, because we have the money available, and that will then make that whole. That actuary report is done annually, and every year it is my strong recommendation that it be funded fully at the time, whatever that actuary report is.
Excellent. Okay. The second bullet point there, comment on that one, or unless the treasurer wants to make a comment? Yes, please.
Your financial statements and expenditure list, February 19th, 2025 through March 11th, 2025. Okay. The fund balance, okay.
Okay, so, I guess I can call that. Any comments or questions from the board on that consideration of the fund balance transfer? Board, can I get a motion?
So move.
Can I get a second? Thank you. Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. Mr. Treasurer?
Yeah, and again, just thank you, Mr. Chairman. I want to commend the staff for doing a great job as always. The spreadsheets, everything. Just want to thank you. The projects, we're doing well, and that's my report.
Excellent. Thank you. Committee updates. I was gonna make a motion before for something in executive session, but it's not required. I reached out to the Office of Supervisor Clavin for some dates for a breakfast. Just for the record, I'm going to share those. Some of them might not work, but either way, sometime in April. I also had a conversation with our bon vivant, Todd Shapiro. I'm not really sure what his early title is, about organizing that. He said, just get me dates and he'll take care of it. So we'll work on those dates and we'll figure out a date forward. No motion, just information. Comments, questions about that? Excellent. Executive session, Mr. Parola and company, we don't need an executive session? Mr. Ryan, we're good? Excellent. Before we make an adjournment, any comments or questions from the board or staff? Excellent. So let's move to adjournment. Can I get a motion for an adjournment of the Town of Hempstead IDA Board for March 18th, 2025?
So moved.
Second? Those in favor? Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? No. Motion carries. Adjourned.
LDC?
Is staff ready to jump into the LDC? Yes. Excellent, thank you so much. So, confirm roll call and attendance, no public comment, because there's nobody from the public. New business, life's work, reissuance of bonds, resolution.
Yes, so this is an existing tax-exempt bond deal. It was issued in 2012 to refinance improvements to Life's Work, which is a not-for-profit headquarters, and a few of their group homes. They were privately placed with the bank. The bank and the borrower have negotiated a new interest rate. The bank will continue to hold it through maturity. That negotiation and change of interest rate is what we consider a material modification of the tax code. And due to that, the debt is considered reissued for federal tax purposes, which is no change necessarily to the holder or to the borrower, other than the change in interest rate, which they agreed to, but it requires us to go through this process to reapprove the amendments. It's a full public hearing from yesterday.
Nobody attended, it was just myself and Mr. Parola.
Any further update? That's the update?
No, they anticipate, if possible, closing by the end of the month on the bond renewal interest rate.
Excellent, thank you, Barry. Okay, great. So, comments at all from the staff? We're good? Comments at all from the board?
Mr. Chairman, I'm going to abstain from consideration or voting.
Understood.
Thank you.
We will still have a quorum, correct? Yes, so I have to make a motion for the life's work reissuance of bonds.
Second.
Great. No vote,
You made the motion?
I made the motion, you're the second.
Yes.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Any abstention? Motion carries. In similar fashion to the IDA meeting, I'd like to, first of all, was there a financial report for 2024 supplied?
Yeah, it's a PDF, it's not as big as our ones because there's less projects.
Small, right, okay, we saw that. So I believe, excellent. So I'm going to defer to our wonderful counsel, Mr. Ryan. May I do the same thing, make a motion for those 11 different categories?
Yes.
Thank you, sir. Going to make one comment about all these different itemized things, and then we'll make a motion to accept or not, or abstain. So consideration adoption of the 2024 LDC Annual Financial Report, the 2024 LDC Audited Financial Statements, the LDC Mission Statement, the LDC Measurement Report, the Self-Evaluation Policy and Procedures, the Investment Policy and Guidelines, the Property Disposition Policy, Operations and Accomplishments of 2024, Assessment of Effectiveness and Internal Controls, Purchasing Guidelines, Code of Ethics, Contracting, Compliance Officer.
That's still me, as long as I'm employee of the LDC, upon my departure, I will then slide into that position, in terms of certifying the
Excellent. Board, any comments or questions before we make a motion to accept all those points? Can I get a motion?
So moved.
May I get a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Motion for all those items carries. Disperse summary of board member evaluations.
That's just a summary sheet of all of your responses on your board evaluation on yourselves. Hopefully you had a moment to look through it.
Excellent. No motion required, correct?
No.
Thank you, sir. consideration and approval of the minutes of February 2025.
Chairman, I move that we waive the reading of the minutes and adopt the minutes of February 25th, 2025.
Seconded.
Excellent. Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Thank you. Report of the treasurer.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Again, I want to commend the staff for doing a great job. And the expenditure list, February 18, 2024, and March 11, 2025. Just want to congratulate you. Job well done.
Thank you. Can I get a motion?
So moved.
Second? Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Abstain? Motion carries. Any committee updates, dear staff?
Wait, did you just make a motion on the financial report?
Yeah, I didn't have to
Oh,
with
you
it.
didn't have to.
But for the record, it's blessed. Beg your pardon? Excellent, thank you. Before there's any other discussion, anybody have any other thoughts, comments, or concerns regarding the Town of Hempstead LDC? Excellent. So I'm going to make a motion to adjourn. May I get a second? Those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposition? Motion carries. Adjournment. Town of Hempstead LDC. This is a monster.